Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in because, today we're taking something that usually feels like just a really fun, artistic hobby, and we're grounding it entirely in reality. We're going to dive into the concrete steps of turning a passion for calligraphy into a structured, viable profession. So if you're the kind of person who's ever caught yourself tracing out beautiful letters and thinking, hey, could I actually do this for a living? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a really clear roadmap for you today. First up, the calligrapher profile. Second, we'll walk through the educational pathway. Third, funding your education. Fourth, where you'll actually work. And finally, salary and career growth. Let's jump right in. Section 1, the calligrapher profile, the professional DNA. Before we get into all the logistics, I have to ask you directly, what do you think it actually takes to be a professional calligrapher? Is it literally just having naturally nice handwriting, or is there a specific professional DNA for this role? Let's take a look.
Well, before we look at the person, let's quickly define the practice itself. Calligraphy is technically an artistic and stylized form of writing or lettering. But I really want you to notice the tools here, because this isn't just about grabbing whatever standard ballpoint pen is sitting on your desk. Calligraphers use highly specific, specialized tools to create these letters. We're talking pointed nibs, broad edge nibs, or brushes. Understanding that technical, highly specialized nature of the art form is completely foundational to understanding the job itself.
So what kind of person actually uses those tools professionally? I want you to reflect on these essential personality traits for a second and honestly ask yourself if you have this specific blend. Yes, you need a genuine interest in fine arts, and obviously you have to be a creative person. But I really want to emphasize the attention to detail. This career isn't just about broad strokes of wild creativity. It requires serious, meticulous focus to perfect every single curve, angle, and line. So do you have that unique combination of big picture creativity and micro-level focus?
Now, what's super interesting here is the real-world proof that you absolutely don't have to start with a traditional arts background to make it in this career. Take the incredibly inspiring story of Simran Sani. She actually holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, but she completely pivoted to become the founder of the Calligraphy Raven. She started practicing calligraphy when she was just 15, and today she teaches this exact art form through workshops, online courses, and printable notes. She's taught over 500 students to date. It just beautifully demonstrates how a persistent passion can completely redefine your professional trajectory. That brings us perfectly into Section 2, the educational pathway, steps to success. While Simran's story of self-driven passion is amazing, if you want to enter this field today, we're going to map out the exact academic steps you can take to get there systematically. So I'm going to walk you through this really clear three-step educational journey. Think of this as your blueprint. Step 1, complete your 10+2. And the huge news I want to emphasize here is that you can start from literally any stream. You aren't locked out if you chose sciences or commerce early on. Step 2, complete a bachelor's degree in any subject and then follow that up with a master's degree, like an MA, MSc, MCom, or even an MBA, in the same or a related field. And finally, Step 3, complete a specific certificate course on calligraphy. Basically, you build this strong, broad educational foundation first, and then you specialize.
So where do you actually go to specialize? Well, top-tier training is highly accessible right across India. You've got renowned government institutes like the Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts in New Delhi, right alongside the Asyut Pallav School of Calligraphy in Mumbai, Sri Yogeshwari Institute in Bangalore, Santwana Institute down in Kochi, and New Learning Horizons in Nagpur. And hey, if you aren't located near these physical hubs, don't sweat it. The source material explicitly points out that calligraphy can absolutely be learned through online and distance learning models too.
Let's transition over to Section 3, funding your education, paying for your path. We've established what you need to learn and where you can learn it, but while passion is a wonderful starting point, we absolutely have to talk about the practical reality of paying for this education. 25,000 Indian rupees. That is the maximum approximate course fee. Generally, it actually ranges from 2,000 to 25,000 rupees total. Now, while these figures are estimated and obviously vary from institute to institute, seeing that maximum cap reveals something incredibly important. Professional calligraphy is a surprisingly accessible investment, especially when you compare it to a lot of other specialized career certifications out there today.
And even with those relatively low baseline fees, there is robust financial support available to you. Let me quickly guide you through the portals. For scholarships, you've got the National Scholarship Portal, where you can find schemes offered by central government departments, state schemes, and UGC or AICTE. The institutes themselves also offer merit-based scholarships. Now, if you're looking for an education loan, the Vidya Lakshmi portal is this fantastic centralized hub developed under the guidance of various government ministries and the Indian Banks Association. Plus, some states like West Bengal, Odisha, and Bihar offer student credit cards with super low interest. Basically, all banks give education loans, so you really have plenty of options to securely fund this journey.
All right, let's shift gears to Section 4. Where will you work? Career destinations. Honestly, this is often the most exciting part. Once you're fully qualified and trained, where will you actually be spending your days utilizing this awesome skill? This brilliantly illustrates just how surprisingly versatile this career is. When you think of calligraphy, you probably picture graphic design firms or educational institutions, right? And those are definitely great options. But get this. Wedding planning companies rely heavily on customized, beautiful lettering for high-end invites and event signage. And tattoo studios, precision lettering is a massive part of tattoo art. Spotlighting these unexpected places shows just how many diverse, vibrant industries are hungry for this exact skill set.
So when you enter those industries, what does the day-to-day actually feel like? Let's contrast these two distinct work environments. In company life, it's very much a desk job. You can expect fixed hours, usually 8 to 9 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. You generally won't be handling a team, and local travel isn't really part of the job profile. It is highly structured, and the data notes that excellent opportunities exist for differently abled individuals in this field. On the flip side, you have entrepreneurship or freelance work. Here, you could become an instructor or start your own business. You're trading that fixed schedule for irregular hours and project-based flexibility. Ultimately, you get to choose between corporate stability and freelance freedom.
Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, Salary and Career Growth, Return on Investment. We've talked about the investment of your time and money. Now let's focus on the ultimate return on that investment and your long-term career trajectory in the design world.
The crucial point here is 80,000 Indian rupees. That is the top end of the expected approximate monthly starting salary for a calligrapher. The typical range sits right between 20,000 and 80,000 rupees per month. I want you to think about that for a second and contrast it against those initial, highly accessible course fees we saw a few minutes ago. The potential financial return on investment here for mastering this specific craft is just incredibly compelling.
So, how does this actually build over time? Well, looking at this structured corporate ladder proves that calligraphy is definitely not just a temporary gig. You might start out at step 1 as a junior graphic designer. As you gain experience, you move up to step 2 as a midweight designer. From there, you advance to step 3 as a senior designer, and finally, step 4 leads you right to the top as an art director or creative director. Your foundational mastery of lettering and layout can literally pave the pathway to directing entire creative agencies. That's huge!
We've mapped out the precise personality traits you need, the educational steps, the funding options, the surprisingly diverse workplaces, and a really lucrative growth path. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. Are you ready to make your mark? If you've got that unique blend of boundless creativity and a meticulous eye for detail, the structured path to a professional career in calligraphy is sitting right in front of you, just waiting for you to pick up the pen. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and keep exploring.